showed you. The guy who led it off was Mankey, where's he? Feldstein, wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, who was Reagan's guy. Arthur Laffer is doing what I'm doing. He's got a video talking about a revenue neutral, and he calls it a carbon tax. And he's the guy with the Laffer curve. You know, all of these people, economists support it. This is something that's important too. You should understand, it's got some viability here. These are think tanks. You look at that list, some of them are conservative, some of them are liberal. They started meeting in October of 2000, I get my year right, 11. There were five meetings between then and when it got exposed last summer. These were the speakers. These organizations, we just got the speakers list. CCL was one of the participants. We weren't speaking that day. If you can get the Union of Concerned Scientists and the Concord Coalition agreeing on anything, that's pretty amazing. What this group had committed to do, and about 20 more that aren't on here that we're meeting, and some would speak and some maybe some others, was during the lame duck session of Congress, after the election, they wanted to pass, see if they could agree on a revenue neutral carbon tax, where you would have up to 40 groups walking in together saying, this is the bill. They couldn't do it. Obama killed it. The day his press secretary came out and said, we're not going to have a carbon tax. We're not doing this in the lame duck session. The American people aren't ready. We haven't debated it. We haven't discussed it. And it died. And he resurrected himself, you know, with his State of the Union address. He talked about climate change, and he got great credit for that. So I want you to understand, there are what I call very serious people are talking about this, and there is a ton of literature that will support whatever you want to call it. I just wanted to hit the principles. The other thing, Greg Mankey is George W. Bush's, the son. He was his chief economic advisor. He calls a carbon tax the closest thing to a free lunch that economics has to offer. He's got a blog at Harvard called the Bogovian Blog, which is all about why we need a revenue neutral carbon tax, for fee, for cost. You got people like Lindsey Graham, who back in 2010 were all on board. He's not on board right now. But, you know, we got to get these conservatives back. We need to get them back. And the number one reason is they're afraid of a primary. Okay, and that's a separate problem you don't have in this district. But you know, this is a conservative Republican congressman. I've been involving this. Yeah.
I have a question or a problem with what do you when you have this, when we do this revenue coming back?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we just give money, let's say to low-income people, maybe more fuel assistance, whatever, and they don't change their habits, to me, a rebate idea on things like solar panels, that sort of thing, is a really good idea. And, you know, probably it's more pragmatic and palatable politically to just say, oh, you're going to get all this money back from doing this thing because it's costing you more. I think, you know, fossil fuels should cost us all more, and we should be helping out. I mean, we could be putting solar panels on every flat roof school in the country for what we're spending on this crap, or actually sending military overseas to help keep the fossil fuel train going.
Let me be clear, there are many things we can do and should do. I'm not going to disagree with you. I will tell you the one essential thing is getting the price on carbon. I can tell you, you will not get a price on carbon out of this Congress ever if you pick favorites. You cannot say, I want money going solar panels or hydrogen cars.
Then we're going to be buying crap from China with it.
No, they can do whatever they want with it, but what will happen is the people that have to produce those goods are going to say, I want the cheapest source of electricity possible, and it will not be a carbon fuel. The decisions will get made for them in the products they buy. That's
By the way, solar is now competitive with even grid, let alone coal, and definitely more than nukes. I mean, in fact, you said you were sort of agnostic about nukes, but it takes 10 years to get one approved, and then it takes another 10 years to use up the carbon footprint you're doing building the damn thing.
I agree, and if one technology pitch I would make is put the money into a smart grid. We need to have distributed power, and if we don't get a smart grid and that takes some federal money, it ain't gonna happen. So I would say, let's forget about who gets the electrons onto the grid, and if you want to take some money and invest, let's get a smart grid in this country. Our infrastructure Removing electricity is terrible, and it's gotta become more efficient.